Hey everyone, John here from the Four Brewers podcast, and I'm back with another beer. And I'm pretty excited about this beer. This is the first time this beer has ever been in cans. This is the first time I've ever ordered beer from this brewery directly and received it through the mail. And it's the first time I've ever experienced this beer double dry hopped. This beer arrived at my house yesterday. This is Pliny for President, Pliny the Elder. Pliny for President 2020. This is Russian River's double dry hopped iteration of Pliny the Elder. And this is pretty epic. I saw this go on sale, I think last week sometime. Just happened to be on Instagram. And I was able to pick up four packs of this beer. So we're going to be trying it on the show this weekend. So make sure you tune into our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/4brewers, or on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/4brewershow, where we'll be drinking this beer and other beers. So yeah, if you don't know anything about Pliny, this beer's been around for a very long time. This is basically the quintessential West Coast IPA. Wow, that smells good already. It's well known around the world as being one of the best IPAs in the world. And yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this. This is looking pretty nice. It's got a pretty decent amount of haze on it for Pliny. I'm pretty sure that's just due to hop haze, which is to be expected. It's like a pale yellow, looks really nice, and it's just tumbling out of the glass with aromas. So let's dive in. So this smells like Pliny. You've got that dank, grassy edge on it, a little bit of a floral hop aroma, a little bit of a fruit thing happening. You get a little bit of that Simcoe coming through, a little bit of that kind of funky, not quite cat piss, but just edges of that faint aroma coming through, which I think works well with the overall aroma on this beer. Pliny also tends to have a bit of like a malt character come through on the nose, and you do get that with this, a little bit of a bready character. But it's more of like a really sharp hop nose on this. Yeah, so this just smells like Pliny. Like, I mean, it's like an amped up version of Pliny the Elder. It's one of those beers that I don't know if you could double dry hop it or triple dry hop it to make it smell better than it already does, because it's such an awesome smelling beer as it is. So for me, I'd like to try this side by side with actual just regular Pliny the Elder, because it'd be interesting to see like what the differences are between the two. But so far, this smells like the best Pliny like I've ever had, because this is probably the freshest Pliny I've ever had. And I've had some pretty fresh bottles like within a week of bottling. Let's see what it tastes like. Interesting. Oh. Wow. Oh, okay. So for me, this comes off a bit more dry. It's got more of a hop bite to it. Like it's got, I think, a bigger bitter edge to it, where regular Pliny is a little softer, a little rounder around the edges. You get a little bit of the malt character coming through more than this, where this is just kind of like it's more hops and malts, like contrasting instead of working together. It's different than the regular Pliny the Elder in, I don't know, I wouldn't say a good way, but just it's different. Like it's its own thing, which is actually kind of cool to see, because it's not like you're getting Pliny the Elder just amped up with more hops on the nose kind of thing. You're getting Pliny the Elder, and I think with a somewhat tweaked recipe for the double dry hop version. I could be completely wrong, and maybe because it's so fresh, that's why it's coming off this way. But that's what I'm getting from it. It's more it's not as cohesive, I think, than regular Pliny the Elder. Yeah. So while it might not be as cohesive as Pliny the Elder, it's still highly drinkable. What is this? 8% alcohol. You get notes of alcohol in there. Obviously, it's a big beer. You're going to get some of those notes, and I would expect those notes. But outside of that, just like super clean, super dry. You do get a little bit of that malt character coming through. I don't think not as much as regular Pliny, but it's still coming through. And as far as like the flavor of the hops go, somewhat matches the aroma. It's kind of a hop smear kind of thing, where you can't really pick out a whole lot of individual components, but together it's just like this nice bright somewhat floral, somewhat earthy, somewhat dank flavor. It's not really like hop candy on the flavor for me, probably more on the nose because you're getting more things happening on the nose, but it's its own thing, and I dig that. After a few sips, you kind of, you get in the groove with that hop bitterness bite, and it's really nice. For me, this has that classic West Coast bite that's just really, really good and savory and delicious. So, yeah, overall, I would welcome this in SoCal along with regular Pliny. I still think personally, Happy Hops from Russian River is one of the best beers to come out of Russian River in the last few years. I mean, everything they make is pretty much spot on, and that cannot be denied. But as far as hoppy beers go, like Happy Hops, you got people that are like, well, I prefer Blind Pig. And I get that because, those beers, Blind Pig and Pliny the Elder, they have their own unique qualities that make them, what they are. And I think Happy Hops definitely is one of those hoppy beers from Russian River that people should seek out and try because it stands in its own category as far as Russian River beers go. And I think this beer is the same way. It's amped up Pliny basically in every aspect, on the nose, on the flavor, as far as like that bitterness bite. It's its own thing, and I dig that. I think it's a really good beer. I know this is still for sale at the brewery in Windsor. If you want to pick it up, it's sold out, obviously, online. So if you find yourself in Windsor, or maybe I think it's at the Santa Rosa location too, pick it up because it's worth checking out. And that being said, thanks for watching this video. We'll see you next time.